Welcome to the show. My guest tonight, the cookie queen, Alessia. Thanks for coming.
Love the intro.
Can you tell me and everyone about yourself?
Yeah. Okay. Where do I start? Grew up in a big Italian family and grew up in the food business. So behind the scenes, I was basically a part of my parents, my grandparents, my uncles, building a career off what they were good at. And by default, I ended up in the business, but love it, live it, breathe it. And it's definitely something that has made me who I am and also given me a purpose and something that I want to carry on for many decades to come. There's just so much history there. And I'm so grateful now, being in my mid-30s, that I've been able to really go through the motions of learning and growing with the businesses through really, really rough times and really amazing times.
Yeah, and you didn't mention the cookies, but
oh yeah,
you're
those.
the cookie queen.
I mean, that's a fairly new baby in my life, but still something I'm really proud of and working towards growing. And yeah, it's just kind of been a whirlwind and something that I started out of, combining my love for food and my family business and also fashion and all those things, and something that I could intertwine. So yeah, that's been kind of taking up most of my time in the last couple of years and more so now.
Thank you. That was good. Can you tell me, I'm guessing that food and family dinners were a big part of your family growing up. Can you tell me about the energy in those and what those were like for you when you were younger?
Those dinners and those gatherings have been a part of my life since a very young age. So my family gets together every Sunday or Monday, depending on everyone's schedules. But typically Mondays are those days off where we can all get together, and Nona cooks for everybody. But even then, we spend so much time together. We're all very close. My uncles, my little cousins, my aunties, everyone, parents, grandparents. But those dinners and those moments and the time that we have together, honestly, intertwining that with the businesses, with our family, it's just one of the biggest aspects of my life that has shaped me and also been just so amazing to have growing up in a family like I have. I'm very grateful for it. It can be a little psychotic at times, actually all the time, but whether we're like ripping each other's hair out, screaming, yelling, fighting about the businesses or getting along, it's what we do and it's what we have. And no matter what, we have that safe place to go back to. So I feel so grateful for that, but it's the biggest part of my life.
I wanted to know, when you were growing up, what your role was at the family dinners, if you were sneaking bites of food, helping in the kitchen, entertaining at a table. I want to know what you were
definitely not cleaning or cooking. Basically entertainment for the table. My Nono and I, he's passed now, but he was known as like the crazy loud entertainment of the family. And they always say his name was Victor. They say that I'm mini Victor, but I don't think I could quite get to his level. But definitely the entertainment and picking on everything behind the scenes, getting in trouble for putting my hands in things.
I thought that might be the role you had.
Yeah. Definitely not like the homemaker in the kitchen. People are like, you must be such a good cook. I'm like, yeah, definitely. I make amazing lettuce wraps, tacos. So good.
Growing up around this culture, do you know what age you realized that you wanted to be part of it? Or if something happened where you realized that you wanted to continue in the family business?
I think that there were a lot of different times where, naturally you want to just go away from everything that your family is doing and have your own thing, which I always had in the back of my mind. But I always worked in the businesses. I started when I was 14 and when my grandparents had their old grocery store in Bridgeland, which is where all of our businesses essentially started. I just loved it. I loved being around people, and I loved seeing what my grandparents and my parents had built with relationships. And I genuinely enjoyed it and getting to know people. So I think as time went on and throughout high school and, university and all of these things, I genuinely loved it. And I think there was a time where I actually left the businesses and coming back, which was probably about, I want to say 5 years ago, is when I realized this is something really, really special. And I think I took it for granted for so long. And I was so focused on running away and doing my own thing that I didn't realize what was in front of me. And so I would probably say that would have been it.
Later on a little bit?
Yeah, later on for sure.
What were your first jobs when you were 14? Did they have you on a dish pit, or what were you doing?
Oh God, I'm not the dish pit, not for me. Anyone who's in there, great work, but they would not have me back there. I was working behind the olive counter in the grocery store. So we had all these different types of olives and cold salads. So I would be in charge with actually one of my best friends, still like 30 years later. Her name was Amanda. We would work every Saturday from 8:30 to 4:30 behind the olive counter. So unprofessional, probably like snacking on other items, whatever we could have back there, desserts, and then making coffee. So barista. That was my initial first job. And before Mercato was opened in Mission, we were in Bridgeland. So essentially all the shops were across the street from each other. So there was the grocery store. My parents had a pasta shop. My mom had a wine store, and my dad had a cooking school. So there was all these aspects to the business, but I was always at the grocery store working alongside my grandparents, which was hilarious. And
I bet. I can imagine.
like, I think some of the things that happened or the things I experienced there, like if that was happening now, we would be canceled for sure. My Nono and I canceled, definitely.
Do you remember when you felt like you were actually part of it, working there, not just, a family member, when you're actually really essential to the business?
Honestly, that has been more recently than ever. Before, I just always kind of felt like, yes, I felt deeply connected to my family when I was there. And it's definitely like, working in the business as a family member, you see things and you notice things that maybe someone else would never notice, and you care differently. But I think more recently I felt like I am a part of this, and this is my family, and this is my legacy, and this is my heritage. And these are so many things that have just made me who I am.
What about, when did you notice that it wasn't just a family business, that it was actually a staple in the city? But did you have any memories that stand out of that?
Yes, I have one actually that's like pretty amazing now. It was hard at the time, but my Nono actually passed away at Mercato during a private function during lunch service. And I wasn't there, but obviously got the news very quickly. His funeral was over capacity, lined up probably 45 minutes to an hour before it even started. And it was at St. Mary's Cathedral downtown, which is like one of the most beautiful churches. My Nona loves that church so much. And she wanted a mass, a traditional Catholic mass. And it was that moment where I walked in and I could not believe the people in there. I couldn't believe it. And I knew that they definitely have made an impact in the city, in the food scene, and, putting out what they truly love. And I'm really proud to say that. And before I'd be like, oh, it's cocky to say that, or it's not very humble to say things like this. But that moment was like, he has built, all of them together collectively have built such a legacy. And yeah, that was a turning point. It was a huge moment for me. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. And when you told me that story before, and not even just the amount of people, the people who were there, right?
Yeah. It was all kinds of people. It didn't matter Didn't matter the religion, the background. And that was another thing, you know, whether you had money or came from nothing, or you were the chief of police, or you were the local butcher, it just didn't matter. It was everyone. And I realized the restaurants and the brand and the business they're home for people, you know. If they're, you know, I had one lady tell me, you know, this is where I came for my son's graduation. This is where I came when I lost my husband. This is where I came when, you know, I went through really dark times, and this is my safe place. And I think that is what a restaurant is. And I don't think there's many left like that in the world, but I think that's what I'm most proud of.
What message or what do you think he taught you that you carried forward? What was the most important thing?
I would have to say building longevity in relationships, that nothing was ever a one-time sale. So that was, and I've seen that now, which is crazy to see generations of people coming, like their kids, kids. Now they're getting married, and just all of these generations of families coming in, whether or not you were coming in for a panini or coming in for a coffee. If you were coming for that coffee once a week, every week for the next 10 years, those relationships are what you're building. You're not just trying to get in that one-time big shot client that's dropping a lot of money, which, you know, we have that too. And I value all the customers, but I think it's just some of those regulars have become our family, and building those relationships with them. And I know there's a fine line between professionalism and building those relationships and getting to know your customers. But I learned that from him. And I still have people in my life, and we all do, that have become friends, that have been coming since the grocery store, since before I was even born. And some of our staff, you know, people that even work for my uncle downtown have been with our family since they were 16 years old, and they're in their 40s now. They're in their 50s, 60s. It's amazing. I think that's just so special.
I was going to ask, growing up in the industry and being still involved in it, what separates, in your mind, even with traveling, good hospitality from great hospitality? Maybe you might have just answered that, but do you have another answer? Actually,
I've been posting a lot about this lately. As you probably see, you're muted me on Instagram, but it's that soul of the business, and really going that extra mile for your customers, and just having that. It's a feeling, and I think some places either have it or they don't, but I think it's also highly reliant on your employees. And we have some unbelievable staff that really have believed in our family and our legacy. And that's another huge part of it. And being able to share the story and really get to know your guests, and not just, I don't mean as to what wine they like to drink or what they love to eat, but more so reading that customer in the sense of that emotion side, and really making them feel like they're at home. And I think that's just what separates so many places. You know, I don't like being felt like I'm a number at a restaurant. And I get there's certain places that are kind of turn and burn and all of that, but it's not even the clout of the businesses or who's the top, who's the best. There's so many ways to measure that, and it's a feeling.
Did you always feel pulled to do something on your own? And when did you decide that you're going to do that?
Oh my gosh, always. And I always felt kind of trapped, and that me running the restaurants or working in them or doing what I did was just, it came natural to me. But I always, always, always wanted to be in some sort of fashion, or not even hair and makeup, but it's literally been in me my whole life. And so I was sitting down once with one of my girlfriends that I grew up with, and she has, really made it to the top in her career with Billboard music. And I'm not going to say her name because she'll probably be like, Alessia, but she is from afar. I have always admired her. And then throughout junior high and high school, she helped me through, academics. She was so intelligent and I was just so right-brained and not good at everything else. And she was just always there pushing me. And she said to me, why are you running away from this? And we were sitting at the restaurant. And she's like, why are you running away from this? This is what you're good at. And you can intertwine fashion and makeup and events and all of these things into a brand, but do what you're so good at. Why do you want to why are you applying to all these other jobs and trying to, do X, Y, and Z when it's right in front of you? And I really looked up to her, still do. And that was kind of a really big moment for me. And even though I wanted to run away, I'm like, I can do it the way I'm supposed to do it and what's going to push me forward. Does that make sense?
Makes sense, yeah. Tell her what's up for me.
I will. She's pretty incredible.
Do you feel like there's an added pressure being from a successful, well-known family to when you go out on your own? Did you feel that? Maybe not from them, but from the outside, I guess.
Yeah, never from my family, really. My dad is the biggest perfectionist, and he is very, very talented at what he does. And he is just, everything that goes out is just next level. So for me, there's that pressure of my parents, but not in the sense that it would like hold me back. But definitely still have really big insecurities around what people think and, oh, this is not measuring up to what, her family has done, or she's just doing this or getting this because she's from this family and they've been successful in the food business. And like I say, success is measured on all different levels. And, but definitely, yeah, it's been an insecurity for me. But as time goes on, I'm getting better with that. And, I think it's for anyone, and I can say this about myself, to put yourself out there and to really blast your company and what you're doing and have someone believe in you is one thing, but to just try not to care and do it is pretty admirable. And so I have a lot of admiration for anyone doing anything that, makes them feel good and that they're trying to do to reach their own goals. Because what else can you do? I didn't want to wake up and I spent a lot of my life being super, super depressed in my 20s and going through a lot of really dark, dark things that I don't want to go back there. And I'm like, if I just try, maybe it's not, maybe cookies aren't my end all be all. Maybe they are, but maybe it opens another door. So
what kind of things did you try before the cookies?
I actually worked for Aritzia and I did love it there and I learned a lot. But through that, I think I learned how working for a corporation that large and seeing the principles and practices that are in place to make a business that successful. And obviously they're, growing and still they started off essentially as a small business as well. That was kind of also a turning point for me because I was able to see and feel what I wanted and what I didn't want. And there were things I loved about it and there were things that I absolutely despised about it. But ultimately I learned so much and there were some people there that taught me more than I ever could have imagined now looking back. And that was when I was like, I need to work for myself and I come from an entrepreneurial family and I will do whatever it takes to make it work for myself.
So that's when you started the cookie company?
Mm-hmm. Shortly after that.
How did you know that this was the one?
Oh God, I still don't know.
Well, how did you know that this was the one that you wanted to put all of your energy to at that time, I guess?
Quite honestly, my dad was definitely a really big part of that. His actual my dad's an actual Red Seal, but a lot of people don't know that. From back in the day, they do, but there's so many things of the history of the businesses that I would love to speak on and really get into that. That's like another 12-hour podcast. You'll literally miss whatever you're doing tonight.
We'll do it. We'll do that one too. Don't worry.
That will be another time. But I saw this vision and I saw some of the products that we had already established within the business, like the biscotti and some of the other classic cookies. I just saw something. I had this feeling and I'm like, I can create something that is so cool to bring to an event or a gift or as a gift to someone or, have at whatever, cool award shows or all these sorts of things that has amazing branding, but tastes good, but still is traditional in the sense. And that was just kind of, I took something that was kind of already brewing with my dad and then took it to the next level. And my graphic designer, she is amazing. She just got my vision. And ever since that, and when I saw what she took from what I gave her, I was like, okay, let's go. Let's do this. And yeah.
What were how did you come up with the name? Tell the crowd.
Tell the crowd. Well, Dolce means sweet and Veloce means fast. So sweet and fast. I like to think of myself as sweet and fast. Maybe a little scary, a little crazy, but yeah, I loved the name and I kind of thought of it as something that could warp into something else. But even now I'm like, oh, should I have just chosen like a one syllable name or that? And like, I know people always go through that and like want to change things, but I've like learned to love it. And there's so many things when you're building a brand that you're like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I pick this packaging or why did I do this labeling or should I have chosen that? And I'm always going to be like that. But
what were the early days like then? What was the first, how did it start? What can you tell me about that time when you first got started?
Yeah, I think my vision was so strong on branding. I'm very much so, I'm a very creative, can I call myself a creative person? Are you allowed to say that about yourself or no? Okay. I like to think of myself as that, but that was so strong for me. And on the development of the recipes and the cookies, that was really working hand in hand with my father because I am not a certified baker. I have that touch when it comes to like food and quality and that stuff. And I can appreciate all different types of food and that, but he was really hands-on with me when it came to building those recipes. And then I gave my vision and then we kind of like worked together to do that. And I also have an amazing team. Without them, none of this is possible because they're behind the scenes helping me with orders and all of that stuff while I'm working on marketing and the branding and, starting off with my pop-ups and all of that. But those early days were really about, I want to say that I spent more time on the brand as opposed to the product, which at the beginning kind of like was a little bit of a struggle because, you get, comments from all sorts of places and people are like, oh, well, I don't like these cookies or these aren't traditional or people don't know what even a pizzelle is or that sort of stuff. So it's like, how am I going to educate the customer, but also do what I want to do? And I knew from the start, I'm like, how I have to do something that I am genuinely in love with. And that really makes me proud to sell when I'm selling a product because I know a fake ass when they're selling me something and I don't like that. Like I don't buy into that. And I just feel like if you love it and you're really passionate about it, you can do it.
You said you took some family recipes and turned them into something very stylish and modern.
Yeah. Added a little twist to some of them.
When did that vision really start to take shape? This version of it? Early, right away?
Pretty early, right away. I had originally done a lot of the branding myself with my dad. And then I would say like 6 months to 8 months after that, I hired someone to do my branding. Shout out Ellen. She's freaking amazing. And that's when I feel like that's when everything changed for me. And I knew that at first I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud of this. It's so great. And then once I got it, was able to bring my vision to life with someone who was amazing at her job too. I had that push. You know what I mean? I was like, wow, okay, now I can kind of see it.
Yeah. Do you remember when the branding and the cookies came together and you're actually presenting the cookies to the public?
I can't really think of that moment, but there is a moment that stands out for me. And it was when I presented the product to 2 members of Holt Renfrew. And I had basically, it was kind of right as my new branding was coming out. And they basically said they loved it. And maybe they didn't say loved it, but enough to be able to do my first pop-up at Holt Renfrew, which was literally a dream.
That's a strong start.
It was a strong start, and this is terrifying. And they said yes. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And they had mentioned that, the branding before and to now was just like a game changer, not in those words, but essentially. And I knew, given, what they put out, I wanted to be on that level. But I also know that I had to pump the brakes, but I kind of just went all in, and that's kind of how I am. So yeah, I've kind of done things backwards, essentially. I'm still doing things right now that I'm just finishing that should have been done when you first put out a product. And now I'm doing all that after as I get more contracts.
Incorporated yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am. That I did.
Okay.
Yeah, that I did.
I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll be right back. Okay? We'll be back. Hey everyone, if you're new to the show, please subscribe on YouTube. Lots of listeners on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. Keep subscribing there. Share it with someone. If you think it's a cool concept, share it with your friends. We want to keep it going. So yeah, thanks so much. Stay tuned for more Deets.
We are back. We are so back.
Thanks. Thanks for talking us back in from break like that.
Was that good?
Really good.
Okay, good.
Yeah. The branding is such a big part of this. We've been touching on that for a while. What was the inspiration? It feels like it's straight out of the fashion world. Was that your inspiration?
Oh, yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
I still think it can be better, but no, I love it. And I'm obviously, my favorite color is pink. That's so, of course, I would say that. But yeah, I love bright colors. I love, even when I'm grocery shopping or, shopping for myself, I have some pretty crazy colored stuff, but I just love what stands out and makes you feel happy. When I buy a product or buy something, I just want to have that connection to it or be excited to gift it. So that was just kind of the vision that I wanted. And how does this represent me? And I never once thought how is this going to be a multi-million-dollar business and make sure everybody loves it? I just wanted to make sure I loved it and put out something that was a full representation of who I am.
Do you remember the first time you got feedback from someone who didn't know, no connection to your family?
Yeah.
A random person you didn't know talking about your product? Yeah,
there were a few instances. And we're talking about good feedback or negative feedback?
I was thinking good. Unless there's a good story with that was bad. But.
We can leave that out. But yeah, there was a few instances when, I don't know, nothing crazy, standing out, but just little moments of someone saying oh, I bought your products and my daughter loves them or my kids love them. Oh, we come back to, we go to Italian Center, every week to get this flavor. Just those little comments have been, I don't know, they make me feel so good. And I never felt I always think I can be better and I can do better and I want to always improve. But when I get those little remarks or people DMing me on Instagram or asking me for a large order for a birthday or for, something special, it just, I don't know, those things all mean a lot. And just hearing about There was one lady, actually, I had done a pop-up with Holt Renfrew in Edmonton. And there was a lady that I helped there, and she bought my cookies the first year, and I had gone back next year. And it was this last year that I helped her out again, and I chatted with her, and she was like, I actually bought, a bunch of these last year, and I loved the branding and packaging, and they were great. And she's coming back this year, and I was sampling and selling. And she was like, your products are tenfold. They have really, really improved. And I knew that I've been working to improve them, but hearing that from someone that was just a random, and she clearly like spoke, I don't know, the way she spoke about like food, and like obviously ended up having a 20-minute conversation with her, because that's what I do. And that really meant a lot to me, because you don't really kind of get to have those interactions if people are buying them off a shelf, or, they're ordering online. But with those pop-ups, I'm really able to like connect with people and chat with them and get feedback too, which is really great. So that was pretty special.
I got sent these, I don't know if I told you, but as a Christmas gift from a PR company.
Yes, you told me. Yeah.
So that's how I found them.
The lemon ricotta, right?
No, it was I think a mint chocolate kind of.
Oh yeah, the chocolate Chianti with the mint. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Okay.
I think I know who that was. Yeah.
We talked about Holt Renfrew, and we didn't talk about how getting in there made you feel. Holt Renfrew and some of your other big partnerships. Mm-hmm. How does that make you feel? How exciting is that? I know it's not fashion, but now you're in the fashion world in a way with your cookies.
Honestly, it means a lot to me, just in the sense of my own personal goals and what I wanted to accomplish, what I want to still accomplish. I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface even with this, and I have a long ways to go. Like, there's so many little moments with this that have been, I think sometimes to like sit back and be like, oh my gosh, I'm doing it. I put myself out there, I'm getting there. And yeah, it meant just to have people believe in you that aren't just your family is totally crazy. And there's some mentors, even at Holt Renfrew, that have really pushed me and made me want to do better. And I'm learning so much there as well.
What are the biggest lessons you've learned so far through this venture in business or in branding? I
think the number one thing is that, enjoy where you're at in certain stages of it and really enjoy the process of it, but never think that you've like made it or you're like at the top or any of these things, which I don't think that, but you really have to like stay focused, because at any moment things can go sideways. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that in the sense of you have to constantly be working on perfecting and doing the best you can in every aspect of it, because there's always going to be something new thrown at you. Or, if you're doing bulk orders and you're starting to like really get into that game of, there's small business, and obviously I'm a small business, but if you're wanting to go to the next level, you have to, dot all those I's and cross all those T's, and you cannot miss anything. And I think that's been one of the biggest things I've learned. And then taking your time. Like, it's not this race, and like, yes, you'll get certain opportunities that are thrown at you and you get really excited about it because it's all like big and flashy and exciting. But if you can't deliver, you have to say no sometimes and step back and go to like the basis and really figure out what's the next step before you're like getting excited about all these brand deals and partnerships and, oh, and this person wants to post my stuff and this celebrity thinks that my product's great and they want to post it. And like, that doesn't mean anything unless you are actually have everything, ready to go at that base level.
I know we're talking about Holt Renfrew and all these big partnerships, but it must feel amazing to have your product at Mercato alongside your family's business. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about that also?
Yeah. I mean, also, I'm, not ashamed to say this, but only recently have I realized what a privilege that is. Kind of took it for granted before, but to have something there, and even some of our regulars will be buying the cookies and I'll be chatting with them and they're like, oh, we love these cookies. And they don't even know that it's my company. And I'll tell them, I'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, like I started this, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, what? This is yours? Oh my gosh. Like having those conversations, but then also seeing it there and watching people buy them is really exciting for me. I was at Mercato downtown the other week, and there was a lady buying a box of the lemon ricotta, and I was creepily watching her buy it, but I was so excited that she just came in and grabbed that box. Like she's like, that's what I'm buying. And maybe she's bought them before or whatnot, but I don't know. Those little moments are kind of really special.
I've seen you also use your platform to support mental health. Can you tell me why that is so important for you to be involved in?
Definitely. Well, coming from a very, I would say traditional Italian family, I don't think that mental health, I'll just say this from a personal experience within my family, was really acknowledged until I went through some very dark times for almost a decade. And to the point where you have to kind of educate your parents and the people around you that work doesn't fix something. You don't just go to work and everything goes away until you really reach a very, very dark place, which I don't need to elaborate on in the sense of, everyone has a story and has something that has made them who they are. But the ultimate rock bottom made me see that if I'm given another shot and I can come out of this and I can go through life and be even half of what my family has created or my nonas or my mom, then I have to do something with it. And it doesn't have to be public. It doesn't have to be out there, but I've been fortunate enough to work with some dear friends from the Sweat Lab who are really big mental health advocates as well, and putting on really large events through the restaurants, which has been amazing. And then also tapping into that and doing something that makes me feel good inside. And hopefully maybe I can help, whether it's one young girl or someone else. Like I've had, a few instances over the last 5, 6, 7 years where a girl has reached out to me and been like, thanks for sharing this. And it's helped me through this, without getting into too much detail. And I think that's important. Like, why else are we here? And so the Canadian Mental Health Association is amazing. I try to include them in every single event that I do, whether, someone else's people are donating on the spot, whether we give them a percentage of all of our ticket proceeds and that. But it really rocked my world. And I'm just grateful to be here now. And without saying too much.
Send me a link or something. We'll put a donation link.
I can do that.
Okay.
They're opening their new facility actually next week. So kind of like a welcome center. So that's exciting for them. They're growing, and hopefully these funds and other funds from everyone else can help them grow and help more people.
Yeah. We'll link it.
Yes.
For someone who might have a creative idea or product they're dreaming about starting, what advice would you give them?
Well, I watch a lot of podcasts too and listen to a lot of things. But as a side to saying just do it, that's easier said than done. I would really find someone that believes in you in your life or in your close circle, and kind of maybe share the idea, tell them what you're thinking, and just work with that one person who believes in you to just help you start and get on your feet. And just without the people that were around me pushing me, I would have never gone and just done it. I mean, I was in a really, really dark place, but I had a few people that just pushed me. So finding that one person and that that you're safe with, and just showing and expressing, presenting your idea to them. And I swear, whoever that person is in your life, who you can go to, and that there's always one person. just kind of relying on them and telling them, you know, hey, like whatever happens, just tell me I can, you know, push me, tell me I can do this. And yeah, I feel like snowball from that, but also just never just writing down all of your ideas and then just start small. Start small. Draw out your idea or write it down or, you know, don't look at what everybody else is doing. That is just don't compare yourself to all these million brands online. I never, ever once looked at someone else and was like, I want to do that, or I'm jealous of that. I just kind of like, you get inspo from other places, but use your own creativity and like put it down and put everything into that. I'm not worried about what my neighbor is doing. I could care less.
What do you hope people feel or experience when they take these home?
I just want them to like feel excited about a product and something that they're like proud to gift and can enjoy. I want them to have a feeling with it and know that like whether it's your favorite cookie or your favorite pasta, like that's like the product you always bring, or that's something that reminds you of something or a special moment or a special occasion, and just building like a legacy with it. That's kind of what I envision for it.
What excites you the most about the future of this company or expanding into other things? What are you excited about right now for the next couple of years?
Oh my gosh, I'm excited about everything lately.
On your vision board.
I think expanding with the brands that I'm already working with, and then potentially seeing like where that can go when it comes to like specialty gifting. And I don't know what I can do to really incorporate things with brands that I love, like certain makeup companies or clothing companies. And I just feel like fashion and food just are hand in hand for me. And you'll see like a lot, I'm sure, you know, you've seen online, just so many activations that are including like bigger brands with a food experience and tying that in. I just think that's the coolest thing. And it's amazing. It's just like a way to express where how people can express themselves, but also like indulge and enjoy. I think like that's what life's about. And like those moments of like having an amazing dinner with your friends or your loved ones or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and like dressing up and like having an amazing dinner and like remembering the products, just like all of these events that I throw, my birthdays, events that I've been doing lately.
You were a good host on your birthday.
Thank you. I love hosting events, even though I'm like really anxious and I'm like, need to make sure everyone's got their chicken fingers and their pasta.
It went down. It was good. It was good. That's what matters, right? Everyone had a good time.
For sure.
It was good.
And Nona had a good time.
Yeah. Can you tell everyone where to find the cookies, where to find you, anything you want to shout out?
I mean, obviously you can find them at Mercato. You can find us online. You can find me when I'm doing my pop-ups at Holt Renfrew. You can find products at Luke's Drug Mart, Italian Center, Distilled Beauty Bar, Sunday State. Those are some cute little shops in Marda Loop. And then, directly messaging me on Instagram, on my personal Instagram, on my business page. I love that. So Dolce and Veloce for my Instagram, and then Alessia Amelia for my personal page. And if you need orders, if you just want to chat, chat about business, chat about life, I'm there.
That's great. That's all I have for the episode. Do you have anything you want to add?
No, just like try not to give a crap about what people think and just do what makes you happy, because our time is limited. So really just be happy. That's like what I really want to.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done.
Yay.
Okay. I just take these off and it ends. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.
How did that feel?
Good.
Okay, good. Can I have a cookie?